back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Megan Daphne and I share everything from DIY, home design, decor, and everything in between. So if that's something you're interested in, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you never miss a video. I really appreciate all your love and support. Today I'm sharing some ideas for DIY home decor. And these are ones that I've done in my home. So I'm going to take you around, show you what I've done. I have some tutorial videos and blog posts on a few of these, so I'll have that all linked in the description for you if you want to check those out. But the purpose of today's video is to give you some inspiration, some ideas, and show you some things that I've done, because I know home decor can be expensive sometimes and it can be an investment. And if you're decorating a whole room or a whole home, that can take time because usually you want to curate your space. So sometimes DIY is the way to go because you can create exactly what you're looking for and also typically do it on a budget. So let's get into it. These DIY Etsy digital print artwork are such an easy and affordable home decor project that you can do. You can choose from thousands of prints online. I like to switch it up depending on the season, but you can order prints anywhere from $1 to $5. Print them off at your local Walmart or Staples. I like to ensure that I print them off as a matte and not gloss. And then you can just thrift some frames from your local thrift store. And what I like to do is take Mod Podge in the matte and paint it on to the prints. It gives it a more matted look and it also gives it a bit of texture so that it looks like a real piece of artwork. And so I usually just try to go with the image that's on the print. And then I always like to take the glass and tuck it in behind the print. I just feel like it gives it more of an artwork look. I think of buying one of these at a store and you're easily paying $30, $40, $50 for something like this, even from HomeSense. And I was able to make these for under $10 for both of them. This is a great budget-friendly home decor project that you can tailor to your home. This DIY textured artwork is also a very easy and fairly budget-friendly project. I purchased this canvas from HomeSense. I think I paid about $30-ish for it, and I just took some compound that I had left over from a DIY home project and just started slathering it onto the canvas. And you can really make this as abstract as you want. You can also mix paint in with it. You could wait for it to be dry, add paint. There's so many different things you can do. And I purchased a bit of wood from my local home hardware store, and I started by gluing it together, but then I just ended up taking a nail gun and that was much easier. I do have a YouTube video up on my channel where I talk through step by step how I made this frame and how I made the print, so if you want to check that out, I'll have it linked in the description. But then I went ahead and used some wood conditioner and my stain color of my choice and stained the frame. And then from there, I attached it and hung it above my bed, and this cost me less than $40, and it looks like a high-end piece of artwork. Next up is these DIY aged stone vases. I have two different videos on my channel sharing how I made two different style ones. This one I'm going to show you, I actually gave it a bit of a textured look. So I purchased this vase from my local thrift store for only a couple dollars. I sprayed it with a primer and paint, and then I took some of that plaster that I used on the artwork in the last one and just started putting it over the vase just to give it a little bit more of a textured look. The other way to do it is to mix baking soda in with your paint to paint it on. It will give it a more subtle textured look. Overall, I made 3 vases for under $10 by using leftover sample paint that I had at home from different projects. You could even use just regular acrylic paint from the dollar store or Michael's. And then once that dried, I took some sanding paper and just sanded down some of the edges and just kept going until I got a surface that I was happy with. And something that I didn't do that I wish I would have done is then sprayed over this with the paint and primer. Just seal any of the little air bubble pockets that kind of got created with the plaster before I went in with the paint. It was fine overall, it just would have saved me some time. So for this vase, I used a mix of dark browns, blacks, and beige paints and just kept adding different layers with a sponge, with a brush. I mixed a little bit of baking soda in with it as well and just kept going and playing around with it until I was happy. You really can't mess this one up. It's foolproof because even if you don't like a layer or something that you did, you can just easily go over it again with another color or with a sponge. And I did use a blow dryer as well to speed up some of the drying process so I could keep working. And there you have it. These three vases were made for less than $10. I was able to thrift them and use a lot of materials that I already had at home to make them. I will list the exact videos of how I made these in the description so you can check those out. I've all seen those high-end vases that are anywhere from $200 to $400 online, and I really wanted this style, but didn't want to stomach the price. And so I found this lamp on Marketplace for $20. This was the original lampshade, which I'm actually still on the hunt for a new lampshade that just isn't super expensive, but has more of that tapered empire look. But I knew I liked the base of the lamp, so I started off by just giving it a really good clean. It was clearly already painted before, a white with a bit of gray. And I went in with my handy sponges and my paint and baking soda, just like I did with those vases. I did something very similar with this lamp. And what a great way to use up paint samples and other little things that you have. It just makes the project seem even cheaper and easier to obtain because a lot of times we already have a lot of these things sitting around at home. Like this black paint here that I'm using is from the dollar store that I've had for years. Why not? And because I couldn't find a lampshade that I really liked, I decided I was just going to paint this one for now. So I took it outside and I gave it a spray paint with this light beige Rust-Oleum paint that I already had sitting around. And you know what? It does the trick. I have it in my bedroom currently. When you turn on the light, you can see the, I guess, splotchiness of how the spray paint went on it. Although when I don't have the lamp being used, you can't notice at all. And it's fine because really I just have it as a decorative thing in my bedroom and do plan to replace it at some point when I find the right one. And so there you have it. This is a lamp that I got on Marketplace for $20. and I was able to use all materials and paint that I already had at home. So again, a super affordable, easy DIY project to give yourself a nice piece of decor for your home on a budget. If you've been following me for a while, you know that I used to be very into macrame. I was a macrame artist and I actually built my platform on Instagram and TikTok based on macrame. So these are some fiber wall pieces that I have made in the past and have hung in my home. And really, this one here is not that hard to make. I don't have a video showing how it was made, but I did want to showcase that you can create these fiber art pieces for your home. Here is another very large piece that I made where I'm using the combination of weaving and macrame. So if that's something you're interested in, there's lots of tutorials online that can show you how to do it. And it creates a
I hope
really
you guys
original
enjoyed
piece of
today's
artwork for your
video.
home.
Hit that subscribe button so we can stay friends, and we'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.